In today's topic, we are going to learn how to determine the strength of a bolt connection. Generally, the type of connection we have selected here is having the bearing type of connection. So let us say the question: two plates of thickness 10 mm and 18 mm are connected by double cover butt joint using 6 mm plates as shown in figure. Find the strength of joint given M20 bolts of grade 4.6 and Fe14 plates are used. So for M20 bolts of grade 4.6, the diameter of bolt will be 20 mm. 20 represents the diameter of bolt, and whereas the diameter of bolt hole gives us the diameter of bolt plus clearance which we obtained from table number 19 IS 800 2007. The grade 4.6, the 4 represents the ultimate strength, which is about 400 megapascals, and given that Fe14 plates are used for which the ultimate strength is 410 megapascals and the yield strength will be 250 megapascals. Apart from this data, it has also been given that the one plate thickness is 18 mm, whereas the other plate thickness is only 10 mm. And these two plates are connected by two cover plates of size 6 mm. So this is the condition where they even give the pitch as 60 mm, end distance as 40 mm, the gauge length as 60 mm. Edge distance is also 40 mm. So the connection is highly unstable. As we can see, there is a certain gap here which should be needed to be filled because one plate thickness is about 18 mm and other plate thickness is about 10 mm. In these cases, what we will do generally, we will select some packing plates. So let us provide some packing plate. Generally, the size of packing plate required in this problem, which is about 8 mm. Just packing plates are used to provide the uh, stable connection between the bolt joint. Let us assume now we have provided some type of packing plate and riveted it or bolted it with some connection. The size of packing plate we need to determine thickness of packing plate required, which must be equal to P pk 18 minus 10. One plate thickness is 18 mm, other plate thickness is 10 mm, and this gap should be filled by packing plate, which gives us about 8 mm. So the thickness of packing plate will be about 8 mm. In this case, we are going to calculate the strength of joint. So what could be the maximum strength the joint can attain? In these cases, when we are going to about to calculate the strength of joint, it must be focused on two things. How the connection is going to fail. So in earlier videos also we have seen, especially in the case of bearing type of bolts, the connection with fail with respect to the bolt strength or with respect to the strength of blade. Whenever we talk about the bolt strength, there are two different criteria in bearing type of bolts. One, we need to check it with shear, and another one, we need to check it with bearing. The same, and the minimum of these values, we need to consolidate, we need to check to calculate the strength of jam. The same procedure will follow over here. First, we will calculate the criteria one, which is about strength of bolt. So when we about to calculate the criteria one, which is we need to check the design strength in shear as well as the design strength in bearing. So let us start with checking the design strength in shear. Generally, I have removed the packing plates because the purpose of packing plate is just to cover the space. Packing plate does not influence any design requirement, does not initiate any design requirement. So generally, there are two main plates, and these two main plates only should undertake all the loads. So packing plate is just we are using to pack the gap what is available here. It does not contribute much towards the design strength. So the formula what we will get from the code is VDSB must be equal to FUB root 3 gamma MB NN A and B plus NS ASB. This is the formula what they have given in the clause 10.3.3. Apart from this, there are three reduction factors: beta LJ, beta ULG, and beta PK. So first we will see how the failure is occurring here. So what I am considering here in this case, if this is my bolt, the threaded portion, this is my shank area. Shank area consists of threaded portion as well as non-threaded portion. So I am considering here that my shank area consists of, similarly in this manner, consists of a threaded portion and non-threaded portion. The plain portion, this is totally in shank, which consists of threaded portion and non-threaded portion. So I am assuming that my bolt is placed this way. Now we need to identify how many shear zones can be generated here. So generally in this case, when the forces are applied, when forces are applied, what happens generally? The plates try to move in the direction of force, creating some type of shear. Similarly, here basically we are about to see two shear zone. This is one shear zone and this is other shear zone. So as for my consideration, we are only about, there are totally six number of bolts, but we are only about to find for single bolt. We are going to find for single bolt for only one bolt. Okay, for one bolt there are two shear zones. So it is important us to identify how the shear is intersecting with our shank. If it is intersecting with the threaded portion, see here, the failure has occurred here. This is how the failure will be in the case of shear. When we talk about shear, this is the type of failure, how our bolt will fail. Generally, the area here will be our fracture surface. The surface area will be our fracture surface, and the surface shape will be circle. That is why here in the place of A and B and ASB, we will take the area of circle, which is pi by 4 d square. Whereas when we talk about net area, some percentage of area has been reduced, will be reduced, which is about 0.78 times of pi by 4 into d square. If the failure occurs, if the shear force is intersecting the threaded portion, in this case, NN value will become 1. And if shear is intersecting the non-threaded portion, see here, here also the basically the shape will be circle if we see it from the top. Similarly, this is for ASB. And we can clearly see that the failure has occurred in non-threaded portion. When the failure occurred in non-threaded portion, then NS will become 1. So this is only for single board. Now let us come across the three reduction factors. These are our three. When we see the three reduction factor, the first reduction factor is is our beta Lj. Beta Lj is for long joints. When the length of connection in this problem, length of connection which is given as 60 mm, length of connection is nothing but the distance between the first bolt to last bolt. That is what will be the length of connection. In this case, the length of connection which is about 60 mm. Beta Lj exists when length of connection is greater than 15 times of diameter of bolt. If I calculate 15 times of diameter of bolt, which is 20 mm, this value will be 300 mm, which which must be less than 60 mm. Hence, beta Lj value will be 1. Now, there is another reduction factor, beta Lg, which is for grip length. Let us see what is the total grip length we can get here, which is about 6 mm, 18 mm, and 6 mm. 12 plus 18, which is about 30 mm. If the beta Lj factor will be occurring when the length of large grip, when the length of grip exceeds 5 times the diameter of bolt, which is equal to 100 mm, 5 times the diameter of bolt. In this value also it is not exceeding, hence beta Lg value will also be 1. So there is one more reduction factor, which is beta pk. Beta pk is for packing plates. This type of reduction factors occur only when we are going to provide some packing plates, and in this problem we have provided some packing plates, and the clause suggests that if thickness of packing plate exceeds 6 mm, then uh, we need to consider this reduction factor. In this case, we have provided the packing plate which is of 8 mm. So beta pk formula which we will get it from code will be 1 minus 0.0125 TPK, where TPK is thickness of packing plate. So there is some amount of shear which is reduced because of this packing plates, 0.125 into 8, which is upon 0.9. So just if I substitute all the terms in the formula, which is 400 by root 3 into 1.25, NN is 1, 0.78 times of pi by 4 into 20 square plus pi by 4 into 20 square into 0.9. This value, if you calculate it, it will give around 92.98 kilonewtons. This value is only for one bolt. For 6 bolts, this will become 6 into 98.98, sorry, 92.98, which is around 557.896 kilonewton. So this is the design strength in shear. Now let us see the design strength in bearing. From the code, we can see the formula for design strength in bearing, which is about VD PB, which is equal to 2.5 kb dt Fu by gamma mb. So kb is again minimum of E by 3T naught, or P by 3D naught minus 0.25 FUB by FU or 1. So this value end distance given in the question, which is about 40 mm, 40 by 3 into diameter of bolt hole, which is 22 mm. I This is pitch, which is around 60 by 3 into 22 minus 0.25. And if we calculate all the one, we will get the kb minimum, which is equal to 0.6061. Now we are going to substitute our values as usual. VDPB, see here, this is how the pattern of failure we can observe in the case of bearing. This is our bolt hole. What happens due to the application of force, our bolt will try to make impression on the plate, deforming by deforming the plate. So VDPB, which is equal to 2.5 times 0.6061 into the diameter of bolt, which is 20 mm, into thickness. Now, how to consider thickness? What could be the thickness here? See, in this case, when the forces are applied in this direction, what happens generally, the plate will tends to move in this direction. The movement of plate will counteracted by the bolts in this direction, and due to connection of plate here, what happens, the bolt will not move in this portion here. The bolt will not move in this portion here. Actually, the bolt will try to maintain equilibrium. That is why it will imply the forces in opposite direction in the top two plates. So it can be seen that the thickness, whenever we are going to calculate the thickness here, we have the two conditions. One condition is from here. So we need to see the direction of force, the bearing. Thickness here is nothing but summation of thickness of plate experiencing bearing in the same direction. So there are two different directions here. This is our first direction and this is our next direction. Uh, in this case, we have two directions here. This is our one direction and this is our other direction, which is moving in two different directions. So if we see this direction, there are two plates, then the thickness here will become 6 plus 6. This portion of plate and this portion of plate are moving in this direction, which is 12 mm, and which is 12 mm. And if we consider this one, there is only one thickness, which is 18 mm. So if we consider the next part of the plate and we apply the same, this portion, when we take out this portion, the bolts experience, if the force is in this direction, the bolt will experience bearing in this direction, and as well as in these two plates it will experience in this direction. So if I take this direction again, I will get the thickness here as 12 mm, as this is 6 mm from here and 6 mm from here. But when I consider this one, I will get the bearing as thickness as 10 mm. So I have to take the minimum of this all four. The minimum of this all four is 10 mm. So just substitute the value 10 mm here, and value of Fu is ultimate strength of plate, because as we can see here, the how the plate has been deformed. The deformation occurs in the plate. That is why 410 divided by 1.25. Okay, so this is how we calculate the bearing, and when we equate this, we'll get this value as the 99.4 kilo newtons. This is for one bolt. This is only for one bolt. So as we can see, there are total six number of bolts in a connection. See here, this is the main plate. This is one side of main plate, and this is other side of main plate. So in this main plate, we are having six bolts. So for six bolts, this value will become 6 into 99.4, which will be around 596.4 kilo newtons. Now let us see the strength of plates in the joint. When the tension force is applied on our structural steel member, the failure due to rupture comes into the picture. Actually, it will start from this position, and the failure will perpendicular to the application of force. So it means that when we see this structure, this part of structure, there will be three bolts as usual, and we can see here the failure will occur like this. The plate will tear off in this manner. This is the next position of plate. If we see the tiered position of plate, it will look in this way. And the plates tears in this manner. So this is our fracture surface, what I have drawn in a darkening way. The thickness of the plate, which is T. Actually, I have drawn this as a 3D view. The thickness here will be T, and the total width as we know it as 200 mm. So what we have to remove? We have to remove the bolt holes. This is the basic formula. What we can get it from code TDN equal to 0.9 ANC FU by gamma M1. AN is our net area, which is given as B minus N D naught. In this case, all the bolts are arranged in a chain bolting. If they are arranged in staggered bolting, for example, if they are arranged in staggered bolting in this manner, staggered bolting, in that cases there exists some extra term where we see inclination in formula. So in the case of chain bolting, this value can be nullified. So the remaining terms will be B minus N D naught, where B is 200, and it can be seen either the failure will come from this zone or the failure will start over here. In the both the cases, the number of bolts equal to 3. Either you take this phase or either you take this phase, the number of bolts will be equal to 3 minus 3 into 22. Either this one, either you can consider this zone as failure zone, or else you can consider this zone as your failure zone. In the both cases, number of bolts will not exceed more than 3. So B minus N D naught into thickness. The minimum thickness here is 10 mm into this is AN value, and uh, TDN. If I am about to calculate the value TDN, AN into 0.9 AN plus FU, which is 410 by 1.25. This value will be around 395.568 kilonewtons. Okay, so here we check the two criteria. We calculated the strength to find the strength in joint. We have seen that the two criteria. First, we calculated the strength in bolt. The possible, these are all the possible cases of failures. strength of bolt, and the next one strength of plate in joint. So when we see the strength of plate in joint, we got this value as 395.568 kilo newtons. Whereas the strength of bolt, again we have to go through shear and bearing. As this is bearing type of connection, we have to check the plates, and it can also be seen the slip is allowed here. So there will be two different formulas we need to, two different nature of values we need to uh, consider. So in the case of shear, we got the value as 557.896 kilonewtons, whereas in the case of bearing, this value will be 596.4 kilonewtons. So minimum of these three gives us the strength of joint. So from this, I can assume that the strength of joint will be equal to 395.568 kilonewtons, which is with respect to strength of plate. So before the bolt fails, the plate is failing in this case.